I'm back in Fishguard, Saturday morning, and it's the day that we go for a walk with David Pepper. Looking forward to it. He says we're going to an area called Gongol today. Intriguing. We meet outside Pepper's every Saturday as far as possible, weather permitting of course, and then every now and then there'll be a commitment which we can't do. So if you want to come along and join us, then just drop us a note first to make sure that it's going to happen this Saturday. 5 of us heading out today.
I was like, oh, how old is this? You know, is it actually an active stable yard?
Yeah.
And it was. And it was,
Good God.
the coach house back then was known as Swan, the Swan. And it wasn't active like for the Royal Mail, like Court, Coach House, the mail from Bristol to Ireland. And then its modern name like reflects its past, but then the original name was Swan. And then this area was a big field known as Swan Field. And it was like where they would have Eisteddfods and like selling cattle and fairs. So this was like the fair main field pre the whole like junior school era that I went to as a kid, and many people did. So this was just a big open field, and you'd have the coach house and the stables there. And then this Bennett was a kind of pioneering merchant for wine and port. And it went right up into the Indian as well, like bottling and making port and wine. And it was like, and they kind of gifted the land to the people there, and then the playground of the school. And but it was a big job, like getting around Pembrokeshire, like on horse and car. Some people would get up at like 3 a.m. to get, you know, get the first mail in, or packers and travellers.
There are places in Fishguard where you're not really sure if you're allowed to go there or not. David will be able to show you where you can and where you can't go.
So obviously, faith and like education was a big part, well it still is, but it's a big part of community.
Well, it was safer to drink alcohol than water, wasn't it?
It was a big thing. It was like almost medicinal in the winter.
Exactly,
With sugar and ginger and malt.
So David, what was the football team that used to play here?
Fishguard, St Mary's.
Fishguard St Mary's.
Yeah,
it's on a little bit of a slope.
Yeah. It makes it hard to
Very marshy because of the estuary. There was a soccer pitch there and I used to play for South Gower. And that also had a certain uniqueness to it because the games were always cancelled when the tide was in.
Exactly, yeah.
And the wool factory. Yeah.
They're industrious.
Yeah, this was it. And then it kind of, the modern industrial estate moved up to Vader Castle then.
Like we just had a
Rebecca Riots.
And they dress up as David said,
Yes,
they dress
women.
up as women, so people couldn't recognise them.
Didn't think
That was
that they
the
were
idea
just-
about it.
Aye.
No one say it's George,
Yes.
whatever it is.
No, because
Yeah,
he was
Morris.
dressed
Dressed up as women, you know,
There's some great paintings. There's some good Welsh artists who've painted figures.
They had to get the army out to get rid of them. That must
Yeah,
have been a bit
I've
of
seen
a
an
fight.
Control them,
article where
perhaps.
they took over the Fishguard Square.
Yeah.
Like, used to be the football pitch for the juniors. But this was also gifted to the town. Jemima's Cafe, the new cafe in town.
How long's it been open?
It's opened on Thursday, so it's the first weekend open.
All right, let's go see what they're about.
Yeah.